get it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the SchuZ Show. Hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday, Thursday, whatever you guys are tuning in. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. All right, I want to make sure we had audio going again. So with that being said, though, obviously today we were supposed to have Napper on the show to come on and break down some of his fighters is currently on his card right now in his resume. But I put out a notification a little bit earlier. The show was supposed to be at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. He's now going to be coming on the show at a later date. The reasoning behind that is he is currently in negotiations on getting a couple of fights made involving his guys. It's going to be on a big fight card upcoming very soon. If you guys want to put the pieces together, you guys can go ahead and do so. But he will be on the show to break down those fights he's currently in the negotiating process of making in the very near future. I'm expecting it to hopefully be next week on Wednesday, so 1 week from now, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. But I will let you guys know, keep you guys posted on that. With that being said, though, it's just going to be a short show. Again, we're going to get into some boxing news that's gone down in the past 11, 12 hours now. So let's get right to it. And as always, though, if you guys have any comments, you guys want to hop on the show and discuss something or let me know some topics, leave it in the chat, and I'll make sure to address that. Your comment will pop up on the screen, and we'll go from there. All right, so let's get right to it, though. Some boxing news that I want to get off and discuss with is in regards to Top Rank. I've been quite vocal about Top Rank. I've always been a fan of what they did and the product they put together. I always thought it was very good. I always enjoyed the Top Rank cards. However, it's gone on too long without fights being made by them. And there's starting to be a massive ripple effect because of what Top Rank is currently doing. When they came out and they said, you know what, we're not going to have any fights the month of August, I said, all right, that's fine. Take your time. 1 month is not a big deal. September, okay, we can do that. But now we're at a point now for Top Rank where we don't have fight cards being announced by Top Rank. We don't have a TV deal. Nothing is currently in place by Top Rank throughout the remainder of this year. We have fights with Top Rank clients already getting made for November, pointing to the fact that, guess what? Odds are quite high that Top Rank will not be having fight cards in 2025, the remainder of it. Meaning, their last fight card came July 28th, and they're not going to have a fight card the remainder of the year. That's irresponsible from one of the biggest promotion companies in the entire world, which houses so many countless stars in boxing. How are you supposed to be doing that? You're putting your fighters at a disservice by doing just that. And that's why I want to come on here and discuss today, because we're starting to see more and more of these guys that are top-ranked guys. You know, ever since the beginning, a lot of the young prospects that want to stay active and fight every 2 or 3 months, those guys have already been fighting on the club scene. Meaning they're not fighting on TV, they're not growing their brand, but they are still staying active and getting fights on their belt. There's been lots of those guys. And now we fast forward to a point where, guess what? For Top Rank, all of these guys I'm about ready to list have fights lined up because they have no other opportunity. Let's start off with this. Rafael Espinoza versus Luis Alberto Lopez. That's being eyed for November 15th in Mexico. Torres, Emiliano Vargas are also set to return on that same undercard. Delgado is also expected to return on around that same day as well. Andres Cortez is being put on a California club show. Xander Zayas is no longer we don't know who he's going to fight or when he's going to fight because of the TV deal in place. And I've already discussed that a few times. Murataya, who knows what's going on with that man right now? Then you have Abdullah Mason, Brian Norm, Beterbiev, and Billy Lopez. All those guys are fighting on Riyadh back cards. You also just have a top or a Pro Box TV card with Tiger Johnson now having to go out there and fight Nicholas Flaws. A great fight, but once again, not with Top Rank. Michaela Mayer, she's going to EOTT. Keyshawn Davis, who knows what's going on with that man? He's currently hinting that he might be retired from boxing, and I don't know what's happening with him. Top Rank has some of the biggest stars, rising stars, and exciting fighters in all boxing in their stable. Yet, they can't get a TV deal landed. As I said, 1 or 2 months without having a TV card, whatever it might be, so be it. But when we are now starting to drift into the fact that we don't think there's going to be a TV deal set in place for Top Rank up until 2026, that's a serious problem. And to make it very clear, I'm not faulting a single one of the fighters I just listed or anybody else impacted by this. For fighters, you're going to take your bag. You need to go out there and fight. You need to do whatever it takes to get, whether it's on TV or not, to get that paycheck and continue to move on with life. Not faulting the fighters. I'm faulting those in management clubs, whether that be Bob Arum or anybody involved with Top Rank, who are a disservice to these fighters right now. These guys want to stay active. And obviously, I talked with some of the guys on Riyadh back cards. They're different. Obviously, they're fine. It is what it is. They're getting paid handsomely on television. I'm really talking about these guys that are not going to be fighting on the stages which they deserve. Guys having to go fight out there in Mexico without a massive TV production. those people having to go out there and fight on other cards, whether it be Pro Box TV or anything else, or fight in the club scene. This is a disservice right now, and in my honest opinion, it is incredibly disappointing in what Top Rank is currently doing. There is no reason you should have allowed the ESPN contract to expire if you had no idea where you would possibly be going in terms of a TV deal. We have no rumors at this point in time. We have no idea what's going on with Top Rank. All we know is that there's a good chance that there's not going to be another Top Rank card for the remainder of 2025. And if that is the truth, then Top Rank has been an extreme disappointment and a disservice to each and every single person on their roster right now. Inexcusable. You have so much talent at Top Rank right now, and the fans cannot see them. They're not properly growing. They're not staying active in the ways that they probably should be staying active. They're not having the branding. There's just a massive disservice to these guys right now, and it's inexcusable from one of the top promoters in all the world. And as I said, I understand this. If you want to put together this big old TV deal, go make it happen. But we don't have rumors. We don't know what's going on. All we know is you might not be having another fight card the year of 2025. And if that is true, that is absolutely embarrassing from Top Rank standpoint. Hopefully things change, though. Derek Chisora is expected to return December 13th. Here's the interesting news, though. That return will be his 50th fight, as he's always said he wants to go out there and do his 50 fights, but it's going to be in Manchester. If you put two and two together, Mosi Toma is also expected to headline a card on December 13th in the UK as well, meaning two things. Either Derek Chisora's 50th career fight will not be the main event, or is Derek Chisora fighting Mosi Toma in the main event? All around, though, I'm disappointed in this situation. Here's why. If you are Derek Chisora, we've always known he was going to go for a 50th career fight. That's not shocking to anybody. We all knew that was going to be the case. But when he fought Otto Wallin earlier this year, that was supposed to be the final fight that he ever fought in the UK. And if you are a man of your word, you should probably hold to that, because you promoted that entire fight, sold it out, all those great things, and had an incredible environment and atmosphere to show support to Derek Chisora because it was his final fight in the UK. And now, before the end of the year, you're going to be returning right back to the UK? So what about all those fans that bought tickets thinking they bought tickets for the final Derek Chisora fight? That seems wrong in my eyes. And on top of that, are you really going to go fight Mosi Toma in your final fight? Like, don't go out bad like that now. I understand you're in great positioning right now with the rankings. I understand that this could be a passing the torch to a certain extent, but still, going out there just for a paycheck for your 50th fight seems a little bit bizarre if you ask me. And I love Derek Chisora. He's a guy that when you talk about boxing for Derek Chisora, this man lays it all out there. He wears that war hat for a reason. He is war. This is a man that always goes out there and puts on an excellent fight. He is one of the most entertaining fighters to go out there and watch. All I'm looking at is from a moral standpoint of, does this really make sense for Derek Chisora to go out there right back to the UK after he already said he was done fighting the UK and returning for your 50th fight? I thought there were bigger things to do. I thought there was another place you're going to go out there and fight to wrap your career. Or could this possibly mean that Derek Chisora has more than 50 fights in the tank? Is he looking to possibly fight a couple extra times and this be his final UK fight? Wherever the case may be, only time will tell. We'll see what happens in the future. But certainly is interesting that Derek Chisora is returning December 13th in Manchester. And I wonder, could it be against none other than Mosi Toma? Staying with a fellow UK British heavyweight, Eddie Hearn has revealed to the ring that they have now received an offer for Anthony Joshua's next fight to take place in Ghana in early 2026. This has been rumored for quite some time. Eddie Hearn now confirms this news, and this is interesting to me. I believe this will be the route they take. I think it makes perfect sense. As I talked about on the last time this rumor started to come out, is this. Anthony Joshua has not been inside the ring now for, if it is January, for essentially 18 months. That inactivity is not good for a heavyweight. Could he have utilized the health and, rebranding, whatever it could have been? Sure. But going out there and fighting in a situation where you're not fighting a guy like Tyson Fury or whatever right out the gate makes plenty of sense. Get a tune-up fight, and he's always dreamed of fighting Africa. Perfect opportunity right here. I don't think he's going to go out there and take this fight. I'd actually be shocked if he does not fight in January in Ghana. But with that being said, really the biggest question then is this. Who does he fight? I don't expect anybody ranked in the top 10. I don't expect anybody that's a legitimate contender or challenger at the heavyweight division. I think it needs to be somebody that he knows he can go out there and defeat, get a statement KO, work on his craft, and get himself ready for what hopefully is a Tyson Fury fight come summertime of 2026. But we will see. Last thing I want to get into on today's show, Chris Billam-Smith versus Roman Fress for the interim WBO cruiserweight title will now go to purse bids following both parties failing to reach a deal. We'll see what happens here. Obviously, an interesting fight. This is going to be in regard to Zurdo's fight. Obviously, he had a shoulder injury. He's going to be out for a very long time. And now we will have the interim fight hopefully get reached very soon between CBS and Roman Fress. But we'll see when that happens. But that officially will be going to purse bids following neither party being able to reach an agreement on their deal. As I said on today's show, it was going to be very, very short unless there are other comments that people wanted me to discuss on today's show. But I just want to come on here, let you guys get some boxing news, talk about it a little bit. I will be back live on Thursday and Friday. I do not expect any more guests for this week, but I do expect to have a few more guests on the show coming next week. So on top of that, though, in terms of basketball guests, there will most likely be a basketball guest on tomorrow's show who I will be announcing tomorrow morning. That should be coming on tomorrow. So there should be 2 shows, both a basketball and boxing show on Thursday. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your guys' day. I will be back live with you guys here now tomorrow. I'll announce the times of those shows tomorrow as well. But may God bless you guys all. Have a great rest of your guys' day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless you guys. SchuZ out.